Hello friends, in this video we'll discuss about API model settings. Back to editor. Inside last video we had done all about migrations. So as we know that inside this third phase we have two sections, that is a user section and a courses section. So we want two controller classes. The first controller class will deal with user module, all about registration API, login API, profile API and logout API. But in the second module, we'll have the courses module which handles all about the request of course enrollment, user courses and delete user course. So these APIs, these methods will define inside our second controller class. So let's create these controller classes using Authentication command. But before creation, back to editor, go inside app, HTTP controllers, and we need our API folder inside this controllers, and inside that API folder we need two controller classes, that is user controller class and a courses controller class. Back to terminal, php artisan make controller API, this is the folder name inside controllers, and then user controller. Press enter. Our controller now created. Let's create another controller, php artisan make controller, and the same folder called API, and the controller class name will be course controller. Press enter. Controller created. Back to editor. Now we can see here we have API folder, and inside that API folder we have two controller classes. Now let's talk about the rules of each controller class. So by using user controller, we'll call user registration API method, user login API method, user profile and user logout. So let's create all these methods inside user controller. So here, public, let's add a single line comment that is for user register. So public function, and as simple as that, register method. By using a request object, let's pass request here. By using this request object, we can read our form data values, and this method we hit using post request type, and inside that we'll pass form data. So this will be all about for user registration API. Now next, let's create for user login. This API we hit using post request type, and also we pass form data. So here let's say public function and login. By using this request object, we get all about the access of our form data. Now let's create for user profile. User profile, we need to hit using get request type, and also inside header we need to pass our JWT authentication token value. So here public function, and let's call it as profile. And finally we have for user logout. This method also we hit using get request type, public function and logout. So successfully we have all the needed methods for this user controller. Now let's talk about this course controller. So here we'll create our first method for course enrollment. So when any user takes a single course from application, this will call as a course enrollment, and all the data will be saved inside this courses table, where we'll have the data of user ID. It means which user has taken all about this course data. So let's go inside courses controller and create first method, that is course enrollment. So here course enrollment API, this will hit using post request type, and also will pass form data. So public function, and let's call it as course enroll. By using request object, we can access the form data values. So this is all about course enrollment method. Next we have all the courses according to our token value, according to user ID value. So here public function list courses, This method we hit using getRequestType. By user ID, hit using getRequestType, and also it is a protected method. It means to access this course enrollment method as well as list courses method, we need to pass a valid token value inside authorization header. Now let's create another method, and that is I think for delete user course. Delete user course. And this method we hit using delete request type, and here let's say public function delete course, and while calling this method, calling this API, we need to pass the course ID into URL. So here it will be course_ID. Once we get the course ID, we need to first check that it exists inside courses table. If it exists, then we need to delete that. So successfully, this is all about the methods structure for user controller and for the course controller. In our coming video, we'll discuss some more settings about this third phase. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.